First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 4, Adding and Subtracting Integers, Medium Difficulty, from Unit 1, Number Operations, with an Algebra Pre-Algebra focus. Our goal in this video is to perform addition and subtraction operations on integers. We're going to cover some slightly more difficult examples on this video than we have on some of the previous videos. So just a quick review on integers. So we know integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So I have another video that covers integers and types of numbers. But for integers, right, if we start with 0 in the middle, we've got our positive values to the right, negative values to the left. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then the negative equivalent to the left, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 to the left. So positive and negative values, and we don't have fractions or decimals. So let's just quickly review our rules for adding and subtracting integers, and we'll get into some examples. We'll start with our rules for adding integers. So if we're adding two numbers that are the same sign, we're going to add the values and keep the sign. So let's say we're adding -4 plus -7. Well, we're going to add the values and keep the sign. So 4 plus 7 is 11. And a negative plus a negative is going to give us another negative. So again, let's think about this like on a number line. All right, so if we start at 0, we're going 4 units into the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at -4. Then we're going 7 more units into the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we wind up at -11. So we're going 4 units, -4 units, and then -7. So that's -4, that's -7, and we wind up at -11. Now compare that to adding opposite signs. Adding opposite signs is a little bit more complex. For adding opposite signs, we want to subtract the values and take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. So let's say we're adding -7 plus 4. So we want to start by subtracting the values. So 7 and 4. Well, what's the difference between 7 and 4? The difference is 3, basically just ignoring the signs to start. Now we want to figure out, well, what's the sign of that answer going to be? So we want to take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. So the absolute value of -7 is 7. The absolute value of 4 is 4. So this is our larger absolute value, so our sign should be negative. Now think about this in terms of like a number line. We start at 0. We're going 7 units in the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're at -7. They're going 4 units back into the positive, right? So we start going 7 units into the negative, and then going back 4 units into the positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we wind up at right here, which is -3. Okay? And because that -7 is furthest from 0, we're going to keep that negative sign. Now let's compare that to our subtracting rules. So our rules for subtracting integers, we're going to use our subtraction rule. So subtraction rule, keep the first term, change subtraction to addition, and take the opposite of the second term. So let's say we've got -3 minus -9. So keep the first term, so that -3 is going to stay as it is. Change subtraction to addition, so plus, and then take the opposite of the second term, so -9 is going to become +9. Now we've got an addition rule, and we could use our rule for opposite signs. So let's follow these rules for opposite signs. What's the difference between 3 and 9? Difference is 6. Which of these two numbers is furthest from 0, -3 or 9? Well, this 9 is furthest from 0. It's got a larger absolute value, so our sign should stay positive. So our answer is going to be +6. Okay? So these are the rules we're going to follow when we do these examples. So let's get into a couple examples. For number 1, we've got negative 19 plus a negative 9 minus 8. So here I'm going to start with, let's start with negative 19 plus negative 9. So we're adding two numbers of the same sign, so we get to add these two numbers up and keep the sign. So we're going to get negative 28 minus 8. So I'll bring down this minus 8. Now we're going to use our subtraction rule, so I'm going to keep the negative 28, change subtraction to addition. This 8 here is positive. I'm going to change it to a negative, so it becomes minus 8. Now we're adding two numbers that are the same sign, so I can add them up, get 36, and keep the sign, so I'm going to get negative 36 as my answer. Number 2, do the same thing, go left to right. (21) minus negative 15, so we're going to use our subtraction rule here. So we're going to keep the first term, change subtraction to addition, take the opposite of the second term, so that negative 15 is going to become positive 15. So 21 plus 15 is going to give us 36. Now we can bring down the plus negative 7. Now again, let's add these up. So 36 plus negative 7, we're adding two numbers of opposite signs. So we want the difference. Well, what's the difference between 36 and 7? The difference is going to be 29. Which of these two numbers is furthest from 0? Is it the positive 36 or the negative 7? Well, the positive 36 is furthest from 0. And since the 36 is positive, our answer is going to stay positive. So our answer should be 29 here. All right, so 3 and 4, we've got slightly larger examples. So let's do the same thing, starting from left to right. For number 3, I've got 24 minus negative 9. So I'm going to start with that. So let's use our subtraction rule. We want to keep the 24, change subtraction to addition. The opposite of negative 9 is going to be positive 9. So we've got 24 plus 9 is going to give us 33. Let's bring down the minus 7. So I'm just going to do this one step at a time, right? So now I've got 33 minus 7, which is going to give us 26. Bring down the plus negative 6. So now we're adding two numbers that are opposite signs, so we want the difference. The difference between 26 and negative 6 is 20. And which of these two numbers is furthest from 0? Is it the 26 or the negative 6? Well, the 26 is furthest from 0, further from 0 than the negative 6, so our answer is going to stay positive here, so our answer should be positive 20. All right, let's look at number 4. Again, going left to right, negative 11 minus negative 8. So using our subtraction rules, keep the first term, negative 11, and the minus becomes plus, negative 8 becomes positive 8. So now we're adding two numbers of opposite signs, so we want the difference. So what's the difference between 11 and 8? The difference is 3. And which of these two numbers is furthest from 0? Is it the negative 11 or the 8? Well, the negative 11 is further from 0, so our sign's going to be negative. Now let's bring down the minus 9. So let's rewrite this using our subtraction rule. Keep the first term, change subtraction to addition. This is a positive 9. Let's change it to negative 9. Now we're adding two numbers of the same sign, so let's add them up. Keep the sign, so we get negative 12, and bring down the plus 21. Now we're adding two numbers of opposite signs, so we want the difference. Well, what's the difference between 12 and 21? The difference is 9. Which of these two numbers is further from 0? Is it the negative 12 or is it the 21? Well, the 21, right, is further from 0 than negative 12. And since the 21 is positive, our answer is going to stay positive. So our answer here is going to be positive 9. Okay. All right, so this was lesson 4, adding and subtracting integers with a medium difficulty from our number operations unit. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.